you can have all the information in the world. If you're not good at putting it in place, what is the information worth? Stop putting out the fires and stop adding these unnecessary fire extinguishers. Don't go read 1,000 books and not do anything with that information. You know, like, you got to do something with it. The best time to hire is not when you need to hire someone, well before you need to hire someone.
Today we're back with Chuck Staszkiewicz, an entrepreneur who's built multi-million-dollar companies and now helps business owners cut through the noise, focus on what matters, and turn chaos into growth.
What numbers do you teach your business owners to watch?
Teach your field guys to own their numbers.
What allowed you to recruit so well? What do you feel like it was?
Stop saying there's no good people out there. Point blank, stop saying that.
America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
Let's talk about Opus Gold and what you and Dana are doing.
Yeah.
And because there's lots of guys out there coaching now.
Yeah.
And Chris and I always hope we only bring people on that we know, like, and trust. You did all these things. That's why it's great you're on the podcast.
Yeah.
There's so many guys out there.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything. They're coaching. They find it easier. How do you find your clients? What are you doing for them? And then why do you like this so much?
Yeah, I'll, you said a lot of great things there, and that's kind of why I stopped doing so many lives on Facebook and, putting myself out there as much, because I'm not looking for the masses, Kevin. Like, I'm only one person. Me and my sister were a great team, but we could only handle so much, right? And I didn't want to be put in that class of like, oh, here's another guru, here's another guy. Like, that's not us. That's not what we want to do. So we work with select businesses. We run them through a process to see if it's affordable for them, number one, right? Like, we have to go and look at each business as an individual, right? We're not putting them in a category, and that's why we're not looking for masses. Like, if 100 people came to me tomorrow, I may take on 10 of those clients, right? So, these platforms and all these things are great. They have a lot of great value, but the missing piece that me and Dana found is like, okay, I belong to one of these platform things, and we saw that there was only like 1% of people that were successful. We start to question why. And it was like, a lot of them just couldn't take the information. Great information. They have all the vaults and the online things that you can go into and you can grab and all these things. But why aren't all of those people successful? Because it's about the implementation part, right? Like, you can have all the information in the world. If you're not good at putting it in place, what is the information worth?
Yeah.
And so that's where me and Dana figured it out. We're like, okay, what's the missing piece? And it's almost like a hand-holding process. I hate saying that, but it is, right? Like, until this is the right thing you should be focusing on, we're going to guide you of like, hey, look, don't jump into that right now. Number one, it's costly. We don't know if your numbers are there correctly. So let's get there first and then revisit it. A lot of these guys are just, Dana says it perfectly. Like, and I was there. I was a firefighter for a lot of years, just going in, putting out fires. And that's where I got good at guessing, because I was so good at putting out fires. Right. But it really boils down to, is like, stop putting out the fires and stop adding these unnecessary fire extinguishers, right? Like, the next shiny object is a fire extinguisher. It's a fire extinguisher because it's going to fix my business. That's the missing piece. You have all these things that are going to fix your business, and I do believe they can fix your business if it's what your business needs at the time. Helping you identify exactly what your needs are and what to do next. Sometimes it's just as simple as get out there and sell and deliver the product. Sometimes it's simple. It's like, okay, we need to free you up more so you can get a better ROI on other things. And that's the other big thing too, right? Is anything that you do in your business, you have to understand where the ROI is. Is it going to give you more time? Is it going to give you more flexibility? Is it going to give you more money? A lot of people go into these groups and these coaches and these gurus and these networks, and they have no idea how to get an ROI from it. Yeah. And that's the biggest problem. Like, I could go into any organization, right? Any networking group, any coach, any guru out there. I could go and I understand how to extrapolate the information and get an ROI.
Yeah.
And that's the missing piece. And I teach my people, it's like, look, if you're not getting a return on what we're doing for you, I don't expect you to stay with us. Like, I wouldn't. But I challenge that the controversy of all coaches and gurus, they don't know anything. I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
I think it's the people that are learning and lack of learning from them and implementation. And then there could be some not so great people out there as well.
I think that's super fair. I would change that on my side. We're doing coaching in our elite, and we have members who are very active, make a lot of effort. We're watching them have great results.
Success, yeah.
And then there's other guys who've come in and they've been there for a few months and they don't come on calls. They kind of flop, and then they go do the thing. That's okay too.
Yeah.
They get busy. We don't know what's going on in the thing, but what can you expect if you don't come and really? And we've seen this in networking groups. Some guys make a lot of effort, but it's really genuine.
Yep.
You're a perfect example. You came in a deal maker family, and it's like in one event.
Yep.
You have things, and other guys say don't. They're over on their phone or whatever they're doing. It's not. They're not getting what they should out of it.
Well, look, I'm not just a taker from any group that I go into too. You got to be a giver. Like, I'm there to build everybody up around me and support. I've had many conversations with you, many conversations with you. Like, if you're always taking, people don't want that. They don't want to be around that. And I like to see others win too. Like, that's, you asked, like, why am I doing this? Like, when someone comes to me and says, hey, I'm getting letters that people want to buy my company, I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this, right? I get super excited for them. Even though it's not me, I just know what they're about to experience, right? And yeah, it's really that. Like, we pay all this money for this coaches and these gurus and stuff. It's like, you have to really focus as much as you possibly can, and then do something with the information. Like, don't go read 1,000 books and not do anything with that information. Like, you got to do something with it. So
better off reading 2 and running with it.
Well, read the one that you
need.
That you need. Yeah.
Just like coaching, books are like, people say, what book should I read? I don't know where you are in your journey. So same thing with coaches. What you just did is you have to look at them and see where they're at. That's kind of what we like to do too. Is I got to see where you're at, because are you at 12 million where you were and you have these problems, or you just don't have enough leads and you need to get out there and sell?
Yeah, look, Kevin, I'm really good at sales.
Yeah.
I'm really good at sales. And if I wanted to go after the masses, I could go after the masses and I could build a huge coaching organization. But at that point, I don't know if I'd be helping them. And that's not what I want to do. I want to actually help people. And that's why I treat it as an individual. And it's not about the money for me. Like, I say that time and time again. Ultimately, that's the cost of doing business, right? There's got to have a money exchange. But at the end of the day, it's like, if I could do this for free and my wife would allow me to, I would. But it's fun for me. I like to go in and see the guys that are like, oh my gosh, they got all these great things going on and they're doing a lot of good guessing at things exactly where I was. And then to get them to see the data with the data behind it and all the other knowledge that we have behind us, man, that shift, when you see that in a business owner, that shift is the reward.
What numbers do you teach your business owners to watch? It's the most important.
Yeah, see, again, I'm not the numbers guy, right? Like, I wasn't very detailed. I just knew what I was looking for. Like, okay, if you want to answer that question, the first 9 years, I did it like most. Watch the bank account. It's going up. Things are great. It's coming down. Oh, shit.
Go sell
what do we
more.
got to do? We got to go put out a fire.
Yeah.
Go sell more, whatever it may be, right? Like, that's part of it. But I didn't really get heavily detailed in the numbers. Like, I wanted to know close. Like, I was very good at averages. I didn't need to go heavily into it.
Yeah.
So I had a team behind me that was very detailed, right? So I could go through the P&L and I would just scan it like that, right? And then I would see things that were off. So I think, the numbers that I would focus on, being a field guy, right? Like, teach your field guys to own their numbers. Like, I owned my numbers. When I went in for a raise, I knew what I was bringing in. I was bringing in a free agent, heavy hitter. Like, I had a great average. I had those numbers to present to my boss. If you can get your guys to start doing that, yeah, you're going to give a lot of raises. Okay. But you're going to have the money to give a lot of raises. So I think that's, for me, is one of the most important, right? It's like, booking percentage, average tickets, closing percentage, recalls. I hate callbacks. You know, it costs the company money. But those are the things that I would focus on. And then I had it set up as a minimum standard. So my guys reported on those numbers every week, right? So their closing percentage, obviously they weren't booking the calls. So it was their closing percentage, how many recalls they had, their average ticket, the options. We had options in there, so they had to have a minimum of options on every ticket. And we tracked all that stuff, but they tracked it too. And we'd all get into a room to have a meeting, and they would go up on the whiteboard. If they were below the minimum standards that we set, they wrote it in red. If they were above the minimum standards, they wrote it in green.
Interesting.
Now they're with their buddies, and they're all looking at the, like, numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
They're all looking at it. And the best part was, it was like, oh, Johnny, you were red for a few weeks, but now you're green across the board. Tell us how you're doing it and what you did to improve. Now they're training each other.
Yeah.
And they listen to their buddies different than they listen to the authority. That was game changing for us.
You
Right?
gamified it. I like the colors. That's
Gamifying, it's important.
what
Yeah.
you came to my place, Kevin, and walked through, and then when we were in the conference room, you was talking about a chair
Yeah.
and how the leader would
Yep.
get the
Whoever's the
special
leader.
chair for the
Right.
meetings to sit in.
Yeah.
And I love those very public reward, and this is probably aggressively to say, but shame situations where, because you have to, it goes back to what I said earlier. I love it when everything's sitting out transparently, because there's nothing that can hide, and people don't like to look like a piece of shit. They like to look like a performer.
I love that. It should be competition. A lot of us grew up playing sports and stuff. We all feel a lot of these guys are now blue collar techs. They were sports guys, so that works. But I also liked, we were talking on the way here, is people get so much information, and when you're unsure of yourself, all information sounds interesting, and you can't decipher. But what I like what you do is, if I'm in that thing and I'm 28 and I'm a tech and I'm kind of like unsure of some things and I'm in the red, I'm going to look at the guys in the green,
Absolutely.
especially guys who are in the red who are now in the green, and I'm going to take their info much different than the guy who has the red. I'm going to be like, get out of here, over here. I'm going to talk to this guy. And it's almost like letting people know. So I did something like that too, where I was letting people know leaderboards on different groups. And then that person, they like it because they get to be kind of an expert, and it increases their clout. But I wanted them to go to these people.
Yeah.
They clearly know how to do this.
Yeah.
Rather than they're just listening to the guy who's just bumping his
A good
gums.
talker.
Yeah.
Look, when I lost $500,000, everybody in my company knew about it. I didn't hide it. It was no secret, because guess what? Even if I didn't tell them, they knew about it.
Yeah.
My
I feel
attitude
it.
was there.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
sleeping at night, all the things. So why not be transparent? We had a company thermometer. We're shooting for 22 million this year.
Yeah.
We get there. Here's the bonuses.
Love
They all took pictures of the things they wanted. The vacation, the car, the house. It was all over around the thermometer. And you walked by that every single time you walked in and out of the building. You walked by that thermometer, because we were all driving for the same results. You know, so you ask what numbers to pay attention to. It's a loaded question. I mean, we could have a whole 3 podcasts about that one. But those, to me, I think, were ones that moved the needle.
I think one thing for so many guys who aren't good at numbers, they might think they can afford it, but I would even almost say maybe they can't not afford it.
That's right.
Getting a fractional CFO, getting someone who knows your numbers inside and out. You have a bookkeeper, and then you have this fractional, and then that person's presenting with you once a week, twice, whatever you can afford, even if it's once a month.
Until you understand.
Now you're understanding it, and they're teaching you.
Yeah.
We get that. I feel like I have a really good grasp. We're on with Mike Gaines on Windshield. We learn on that call.
Absolutely.
We both
do.
know we have learned a ton from him.
Yep.
It's like
It's
we're paying for it. We're learning about our business, the numbers,
the
but
cheapest education we
it's
could pay for.
great.
100%.
That's like high level MBA stuff. But everybody should be doing that. So you're getting it while you're learning, but your business is increasing.
Yep.
And if you say, well, I can't afford it, let's say it costs $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month. You're going to free up so much time and make better gut decisions. If you're good at sales and you're an incredible tech or what you're going to go make that money back.
Absolutely.
And you can afford it.
You have brain space and you have time.
You can
afford it.
You can afford it. You just got to find how to afford it. By knowing your numbers,
Right.
you'll know where the how is. And the other thing too is, Kevin, is like, if you want to year 3, I started using other people's capital. I got really good with that.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, you have to have your numbers in order.
Yeah. Because
Nobody's going to give you money, or if they are, you're going to pay a pretty price for the
take
interest
30%.
if your numbers aren't accurate.
Yeah, that's high risk. That's like the captain without the GPS. Yeah.
That's a great way. If your numbers are a mess, you're probably going to be paying in the mid-20s
Mm.
for like Blue Vine or,
Or credit
whoever
cards,
do it.
or credit cards.
Credit cards.
Yeah.
And if your numbers are really dialed in, you have it, and you present at the bank, you're going to get you
6,
could
7, 8.
get way different.
Yeah.
Sub 10, and that's how you make money. Now you can really make money.
Yeah, I mean, SBA at the time was 2%.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
You said that you were really good at recruiting.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things that we see inside of the Blue Collar Millionaire Facebook group community. And one is they don't have enough opportunity. They don't have enough leads.
Mm-hmm.
So their marketing systems aren't systems. They're broken.
Stop doing just digital marketing.
Yeah.
Go do the guerrilla stuff.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. You mentioned BNI. I got a brand ambassador. That's what they do. They go out. BNI, Chamber, Kiwanis, Rotary, door knock to our affiliate partners, the ones that can give us referrals over and over again. But the second thing is they talk about labor. And I know inside of the particular trade that you sold in on the plumbing, electrical, HVAC, those particulars seem to have even worse time to get skilled because it's a skilled trade.
Yeah.
Labor in. What allowed you to recruit so well? What do you feel like it was?
I love this question too. Stop thinking that you have to do it yourself for it to be perfect. Okay, that's number one. And start looking at. Stop saying there's no good people out there. Point blank. Stop saying that. Change your mindset immediately on that. There's how many billions of people on earth? There's people out there.
Right.
Okay. Now go find them. Right. So you have to. I was always recruiting. I was telling somebody yesterday. I was snowmobiling. Doing $20 million a year, and I was up snowmobiling, and I would stop and do a Zoom hiring on top of the mountain, talking to guys, because I had an opportunity to talk to a player or a B player and bring them into my organization. I took time up of whatever I was doing and did it. The other thing is too is, if you're saying there's no good people out there, people say that to me all the time, and I'm like, cool. Have you done bulletin boards? Are you looking at your church? Have you went into the supply houses? Are you talking to guys? Like, how much are you talking about it, right? Because let's face it, you want to be good on social media, you got to post, right? And everybody thinks, oh, I have no time and this and that. Okay, well, that's why you have a hiring problem or not enough followers. That's right. It's the same concept, right? I consistently put myself out there as I'm hiring, and I had conversations. Sometimes it took me a month to get those guys in, the A players, sometimes a couple years. But because I planted those seeds and opened those doors well before my needs, like the best time to hire is not when you need to hire someone, well before you need to hire someone. So if you're going to increase marketing and do sales trainings and all these things, you better have a pipeline of people that you can bring in, because when those things start to pay off, you gotta deploy those employees very quickly. I remember during my exit, I had 5 employees leave. 3 of them were managers.
Wow.
While I was in due diligence, Kevin, you just went through it. Okay, you know what I said? Give me 2 weeks. I hired all 5 of them. 4 of them were from the company that bought me, because they had another company in town. Yeah. And they called me and they said, Chuck, this is going to be kind of weird when we announce this to everybody. You mind backing off? And I said, yeah, and tell the wires in the bank we're competition. That's how I approached recruiting.
Yeah.
Like you don't let up. I told them the story the other night. I don't know if it was you or someone else, but my local supplier does a trade show every year. Now this is a little, maybe not. Maybe this is pushing the limits, but it's not. It's business. He does a trade show every year, and he's got Milwaukee there and DeWalt and all these, so it brings in all these technicians, right? And so I said, I paid my guys $5 a sticky note, and on the sticky note was my we're hiring, my logo and my phone number.
Heck yeah.
And we went out over 300 vans. I paid my guys everywhere. And I was like, people were like, man, that's just brutal. Like, how could you do that? I'm like, what's the difference? Every day at the supply house, my guys are being approached by other guys.
That's right.
It's the same thing. And the guys that got mad at me for doing it, Kevin, you know why they got mad at me? They didn't think of it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a similar instance. I was trying to poach someone, and the guy got very upset about it. And I said, dude, an A player is not sitting in the unemployment line. They're not at the staffing agency. They're working a great job. I said, I'm bragging on you. You should be honored that I'm going after who you have, because you've done something very well to attract someone like that.
Look, if you can recruit somebody, there's something broken in that company for them to leave. Because I've done it. I worked on guys for long periods of time. And I mean 2-3 years sometimes, Chris. They wouldn't leave. Nope, I'm happy. There's one company that I tried to recruit from a lot, and literally this is how I knew their culture was on point, and I knew that the company was going somewhere. And I watched them do really big things in my market. If I say the name, everybody will know who I'm talking about. Literally, the guys would hand me my recruiting card back.
Wow.
I'm not interested. Wow. I said, that's where I want to get. Because it's not just about the recruiting part and going out and poaching guys. It's the retention side.
Yeah.
I want to get to the point where no matter what, no matter who walks through the door, no matter what number comes in, it's not about the money. I want them to love the company that they are working for, and the vision we're going for. If I have that, it doesn't matter what you offer them, because I tried, right?
Yeah.
But
a strong statement. That's good.
I like that.
Dude, you have to, because you said it. The A players are not on unemployment. Where are you going to find them? Your people are being, I hate to say it to you, but they're being recruited every minute of the day.
Yeah.
How many of your employees are on LinkedIn right now? I guarantee in their inbox there is 15 or 20 people trying to recruit them.
I'm going to give, I won't say who did it. I'm going to give you a trick that somebody's doing, and this is happening. This guy has his virtual assistant, go on competitors for his industry, look at reviews, look at names. So he sees Chuck at this moving company. Then they go search it on Instagram, Facebook. They find that person. Now they know this person's in our industry. They have lots of good reviews, and they start poaching at them. They're doing this, and that's how he pulls people.
You want to know a better one, Kevin?
Yeah.
So you know the employees of the month, and how people on their company websites or Facebooks, they put the employee of the month up there, or happy birthday to so-and-so, and they put their first and last name or tag them on Facebook. That's a recruiter's dream. Like, I'd be all over that guy.
That's right.
Go friend him. Hit him up on a Thursday. Why do you hit him on a Thursday? Because payday's Friday. I did this. I tried this so many different times, and I tested it out. You hit them on a Thursday. Hey, how things are going? Oh, everything's great. Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. Call me if there's nothing. Friday afternoon, they were calling me.
I love that. And one thing I did, you guys probably have done, I know you did this with the DoorDash guy. When I saw a guy with a lot of high energy and good thing at low, wherever I saw it, I would say, hey, are you happy here? This is what we're doing.
Just have
and
conversations.
Sometimes you'd see this crack and you'd keep going, say, hey, just hit me on my cell phone, whatever. But I remember guys saying, hey, I love it here. I'm happy, appreciate it. And they go right back. And I used to think, if they did that to guys at my company, would that happen? Or would they do this? That's what you have to be honest. And I remember thinking, I think half of them would take that phone call. How many other people would say, I'm good? Because I got guys poached.
Oh, yeah. Me too. All the
Because
time.
what I used to do is I'd have really good people, and I'd spend my time on the ones that needed more help, and I'd kind of neglect them, almost take them for granted, and I lost like 2 ones at a key time. So I said, all right, I do that now with top people. I make sure they're happy.
Got to check in.
You got to check in and say, hey, what can I do to
They
make
don't just wake up one day and say, I'm going to leave a great
They don't.
job. They don't. It's progress.
They reached out to you. It's like a relationship. They tried. You ignored them, and now you got to try to go. It's too late.
Yeah. And look, I don't want to sound like I don't have integrity, like that I was doing something unethical. Again, I'm not. I may have been a little bit more aggressive than the next guy, but every single day I knew my guys were getting talked to. Hey, come work over here. It's awesome. Blah, blah,
Good.
blah, this and that. And they got incentivized by their boss to bring on an A player.
Competition's good, though. It breeds excellence. So if it goes back to, look, if they're leaving, it's because there's a crack in that company.
100%.
Something's not right. So what happens
Turn the
when
finger.
you've got people going out the door? You can't get pissed because Chuck's out here pulling all of your employees. You've got to look back and say, how do I do the retention? That's why I love that. I've got a lady that's bought in, my business development person, Rockstar, and she's told me, she said, I get tried to get poached constantly. People ask me, and I'm like, you can't touch what I've got here. You can't touch. And that makes me feel really good. But then I'm listening and I'm thinking, man, how many of my rock stars have I not had that conversation because they're good, but I'm over here focused on what needs improvement and neglecting? And when is that person going to say, hey, what do you think about coming over?
If you look at your people in your company, you have your top 20, you have your middle 60, you have your bottom 20. You focus on the middle 60. Top 20, they don't need a lot of attention, right? Your bottom 20, what you're trying to do is you're trying to move them into the top 60, but they've got to want it.
Or
if
out.
they don't want it, don't waste your time. You're focused on the middle 60, getting them into the top 20.
That's good.
And you're constantly reevaluating that, right? Like we used to evaluate the company twice a year. Like where do they sit? Because your top 20 can go into the middle 60, and your middle 60 can go into the bottom 20. So you're constantly looking at it and shifting around. That's why you always got to be hiring. When we got to a certain level, I think it was like 12, 14 million, right? That's when I started to say, okay, I don't want to hire for knowledge anymore. I want to start hiring for willingness and attitude, and like just going out and finding the people that had the mindset, not necessarily the skill set. So it was like, okay, how do I teach them the skill set? Because to give them a crash course on plumbing is kind of hard.
Yeah.
Right. So I started to look for different ways, and ultimately we were in the process when I sold of doing this. We were building an academy. I was looking for about a 10,000 square foot building. And part of our onboarding process that I talked about before was going to be bring these guys in a classroom setting for 30 days. Okay. Now, I could teach a drain cleaner how to drain clean and produce revenue in 30 days. So I get that person, the gas station guy that's always happy and he's working a shitty job, or the guy at Home Depot that's just dancing around. Okay, you're making $40,000 a year. What if I could guarantee you 85 in the first? And I bring them in, I get them out there making $85,000 a year in 30 days. What is that doing for the company? So I'm just speeding up that. And now I don't have to hire and be so unethical, right, with my approach and aggressive with recruiting as I did with that. So that academy we were in the process of doing it. That's really where I was going for.
I love that. Even when you have higher skilled things, I made this mistake. I used to hire off skill sets. I wanted guys who were good on roofs.
Yeah.
And then I'd get guys who are good on roofs with bad attitudes. They're on their 14th roofing gutter job. Yep. Then I started saying, hey, I'm just going to get guys with great attitudes. I'd see them. And what I would do is some of them would say, I haven't been on roofs or anything. I had guys who were just running the grounds, moving ladders, stacking ladders, but they had such an attitude of and they would be like, I could do it. I want to go up there. I can do this. And then we'd teach them. And they became some of my best guys. But in the beginning, they said, I've never even been on roofs. And I was trying to get these guys who've been on roofs for 20 years. And they would literally in 60 days, they'd pass these guys.
Wow.
Well, that was my concept too. Get them out, double their salary in 30 days.
Yeah.
Right? Get them out there. Now, on downtimes, teach them the plumbing. So in a couple of years, now they're dual purposed. They can do plumbing and drain clean because they want it. They've seen the money. They like where they're going. They want to get the education. They want to go to school. They're like, now they're all bought in.
Yeah.
And those guys aren't going anywhere. They're going to be the ones that turn back the card.
I love that.
We forget what kind of opportunity. There was a guy there last night. He worked for me. He came from Amazon. He never gone roofs. He did the grounds. He worked for me. He became a sub. He has his own business now. This is he started in 2016, he told me last night. That's 9 years. His whole life changed.
Yeah.
From $13 an hour to, I remember when he texted me one day, because I used to tell me when you stack $100,000.
That's awesome.
It's in your checking account. You're done. Like you got to that, because I said, if you don't do anything other businesses till you get to that.
Love it.
I love seeing these guys do it. It's
100%.
he had a growth mindset, like the attitude of I need something better. And we all know these guys are having kids, and they're feeling the same pressure as you are. Give them an opportunity, lead them. And if you don't have this big company, you feel like you can't compete with the Tommy Mellos or somebody with 120. Show them the vision. You might not have the newest trucks and everything, and you might even be working, even if you're out of your garage. Show them, man, get behind this guy. I'm going to grow with them. Ray did that.
Mm-hmm.
He got people to buy into this guy's going somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And he did.
And he did it.
Yeah.
You got to deliver then.
Yeah.
But I bet you number employee 4 or 5, they were like, this guy's going to take us somewhere. And then he did.
Well, you made a great point, because people aren't going to follow you if you're not a great leader.
No.
So if you're not constantly improving your leadership skills, who are you going to attract? You're not going to attract the A players.
No.
They want to know that they have a job. They got 40 hours a week, that you're going to get in the trenches and fight for them for that paycheck too.
One thing you said, if you didn't tell your team you lost 500, they already know. I know that too. If you're in chaos and you're stressed, your team already knows, and they lose confidence in you. That's why when I had a friend back in the day, he used to blow up on employees, and I was watching him one time. He was chaotic. Yeah, I told him, I got back in the car, I said, bro, you got to take that way down. You got to get yourself together in the car. And then calm down. These guys are just thinking, let me get out of here. They're only here for a paycheck. He was chaotic, but he was a good guy, but he just, like, anything would bother him. You got to be even keel. People want to see confidence in, like, okay, I'm following Kevin, because that's why they're doing this job.
Yeah.
If they could do everything themselves, they would already be doing it.
Yeah.
They need you to lead them to wherever it is.
Yeah, people love accountability. They really do. They beg for accountability. Because if not, there's no direction. Would you go, if you were on a basketball team or baseball team when you were a kid, would you go in and not keep score?
Yeah, no.
That's what accountability is.
Yeah.
Keeping score.
I don't know what happens
Keeping
today.
score.
Yeah.
Keeping
Like,
score.
you're not
I wouldn't even want to play.
If
Takes the fun out.
football's starting up, if you were just watching those guys run around doing what they're doing and there was no score, would you even watch?
You would not watch.
This is good, dude. Chuck, tell us how people find you.
Yeah, I have a podcast. It's called Catalyst for the Trades. I co-host it with an amazing co-host, Jen Bagley. She's the owner of CI Web Group, does digital marketing. So we bring kind of a different spin. We bring the marketing and the bootstrap stuff together, and we have a lot of great guests. So follow us there. Facebook, Chuck Staszkiewicz. It's a hard last name. No one else is going to have it, so you'll be able to find me easy if you can spell it. The Opus and Gold's business success group on Facebook is a great way. Opusgolds.com. There's a link to book a strategy call with me to find out if you want to potentially work with us. If your business is ready for it, you can go on there. I am doing an event in October in Ohio. Details are coming out, so if you start to follow me, you'll see those going on. That's really best ways to get in touch with me.
Man, appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Listeners, follow Chuck. Chuck's he's done the work. He's implemented, and now he's sharing. And I couldn't suggest any better example of someone that should be followed. So appreciate you coming on. Thank you for it. This is some really good insight.
Yeah. And congratulations again, Kevin and Chris. I appreciate the opportunity.